Excellent. So today we are going to start with the nutrition. The nutrition is defined as sum of all the processes by which our body acquires nutrients and utilize it. Now the question is, what are nutrients and why we require nutrients? Nutrients are those chemicals which are required by body for various functions. So they are classified on the basis of their function, their utility in the body, and their chemical nature. So there are six different types of nutrients for all the animals. These are proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. So these are the nutrients which we require in order to build our body, in order to um, obtain our energy, in order to protect ourselves from diseases, in order to repair and maintain our body. So there are several functions which are there from these nutrients, and it is necessary for us to obtain nutrients. Okay, now where we get the nutrient from and how will we use this entire process is called nutrition. Okay, so we can divide that. We can define the nutrition as sum of all the processes by which body acquire nutrients and utilize them, or we can, in simple words, we can say that intake and utilization of nutrient is known as nutrition. Okay. Now the next is that is the mode of nutrition. Living beings can be classified on two different types on the basis of their mode of nutrition. Okay, they are either autotrophic mode of nutrition or heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Word auto stands for self. That is, these are those organisms which prepare their own food, or rather I put it in the different way, that is, these are the organisms which can produce food their own. Okay, when we talk about their own food, it says it shows that they are very selfish, that is they are making their own food, but they are making the food for entire living community, that is the plants are included in the autotrophs, and plants are making food not only for themselves but also for the entire living community. They are producing fruits, they are producing seeds, they are producing leaves and roots and stems, which all the different type of animals are eating directly or indirectly. Okay, so autotrophs are those organisms which produce food on their own, whereas heterotrophs are those which fails to produce food their own, so they are depending on the other organisms. Okay, so they may be depending on plants, they may be depending on animals, they may be depending on the dead animals, or they may be killing their food. So on these basis, we will be classifying these organisms into the further categories as we'll study here. Okay, so we are talking about the autotrophs. Very first thing, autotrophs. Auto means self and troph means nutrition. That is those organisms which prepare nutrition or nutrients or rather food on their own. They are called autotrophs. Autotrophs are further classified into two types, photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Word photo stands for light. Auto means self. Troph means nutrition. That is those organisms which can prepare food their own in presence of light. So what is light doing here? Light is light is actually a source of energy. And what is food? I classified, I explained you food in the previous class also. Food is any substance that we eat which provide us with one or more nutrients without causing harm to the body. It has sometimes become very difficult about some of the common word to define. We are eating food right from before our birth. That is when we were in the mother's womb. Then also we are getting nutrition, or then also we are getting our food from mother's body, and after birth also we are depending on our mother's feed, that is the milk and all. And later on we started eating our food and all. And all these food ultimately come from plants, which prepare them. And to prepare food in the plants, they require energy, and this energy comes from the light. Now, source of light can be anything. It can be a tube light, or it can be sunlight, or it can be moonlight, it can be candlelight. So the source of light can be anything. It is the light energy which is used by the plants to prepare their food. Okay, now uh, so actually autotrophs include all the green plants. They may be unicellular like algae to multicellular, and to the huge trees which we see around us, the eucalyptus trees and the banyan trees and the peepal trees, and simple grasses which we see, that is a simple one or two leaf they got. So they all are actually doing a favor to us, not only for preparing food, but also to give us oxygen. Because we human being and all other organisms, when we respire, we produce carbon dioxide. Plus, there are so many other type of activities in which we human beings use oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. We pollute the environment, and the plants are favoring us by converting that carbon dioxide back to oxygen. So that is why we, in our culture, we have got tulsi plant in our home, and we worship it as a member of entire plant kingdom. So we are giving respect to entire plant kingdom, that you are actually doing a great favor to us, not only by providing food, but also providing oxygen, but also providing number of different type of medicines and all the other type of substances which you have studied in the previous classes, in the smaller classes, the benefits which we get from the plant. Okay, there is again another category of organisms which prepare food their own. They are called chemoautotrophs. The word chemo stands for chemical, and autotrophs I have already said. Now, one thing we must very much clearly understand, that everything which we see around us are chemicals. May it be spectacles, may it be this mobile charger, may it be the paper roll, may it be the mobile, may it be food which we eat, may it be any other substance which we have around us, even the air, everything is chemical. So simply don't mislead with this word, that is the chemotrophs means those are which prepare their food using chemicals. Every food is made using chemical only. Everything which we use in our life are chemicals only. Okay. Sometimes we see ad in the TV that is this soap or this shampoo does not contain chemicals. They are fool, and they are making you also fool. How a substance without chemical can be prepared? Because when we're studying in the class ninth, the chapter 1 where matter, and we have studied everything around us which has mass, which occupies space, and which can be felt, they are called matter, and every matter is actually made up of chemicals. Made with carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, water, nitrogen, sulfur, calcium, magnesium. There are a number of other substances. Everything is made up of certain type of chemicals. So the plastic which we see around us, these plastics are made up of carbon, hydrogen, or oxygen. Okay, and water is made up of hydrogen or oxygen. Sugar is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Whatever type of substances which we see around us, they all are made up of chemicals. So don't get misled by the term that is chemotrophs are those which prepare their food using chemicals. Rather, the definition goes in this way: they are those microbes which obtain their energy for food preparation of food by oxidation of inorganic substances. Okay, see, this definition is written here, that is chemotrophs are those microbes which obtain their energy by oxidation of some inorganic substances. Inorganic substances can be sulfur, nitrogen, uh, iron, etc. Okay, and accordingly their name will be. So there will be sulfur bacteria, there will be iron bacteria, or there will be nitrogen fixing bacteria, etc., etc. So these are using energy not from the sun, rather they are obtaining their energy from this. So they are those autotrophs which are not even depending on sun, and they are mainly found in the seabed. If you see in the under the ocean, the oceans are very deep, and they may be somewhere about 1 kilometer to 5 kilometer deep. So light doesn't penetrate more than 500 meter. Half a kilometer तक light जा सकती है. Before after that the light doesn't go. So all the other organisms which are feeding, they are not only totally depending on the algae and other organisms, rather a large category of organisms are deriving their food by the decomposers, by the chemoautotrophs. Understood? So autotrophs are of two types. If we differentiate between them, phototrophs are, first of all, phototrophs are large organisms, whereas the chemotrophs are smallest organisms. They are unicellular or very simple organisms. Secondly, phototrophs uses sunlight or any other source of light. Chemotrophs obtain their energy by the oxidation of food, oxidation of inorganic substances. Okay. Third, the phototrophs will always have some pigment, maybe chlorophyll or xanthophyll or some other type of chemicals, whereas no such pigments are found in chemoautotrophs. Okay. Fourth, uh, phototrophs are generally using water uh, as a hydrogen donor, जबकि chemoautotrophs जो हैं, they are not using and since they use water, they give out oxygen. as a waste product. Whereas the chemotrophs doesn't give oxygen as a waste product, they may be producing some type of oxide, some type of other substances like sulfur oxide, sulfur dioxide, or sulfur trioxide, iron oxide, or nitrogen oxide, nitrogen dioxide, or etc. etc. Which may be they may have their further use. Okay, so the four differences I said, you have to tabulate this, pause the video, write it down in your notes. So your notes should be complete because this is you are lucky this time because I am making video at home. So I am making with the PowerPoint presentation. In the school we are simply teaching on the board. Okay, the next is heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are those organisms. The word hetero stands for others. Heterotrophs stand for nutrition. That is those which derive their nutrition from others. That is, they are failed to prepare food on their own. So they are depending on other organs for getting their energy. Maybe plants, maybe animals, etc. Okay, so holozoic are organisms which are obtaining, which are deriving their food from other organisms. Sorry, not holozoic, heterotrophs. Now, heterotrophs are further classified into three categories: holozoic, saprozoic, and parasites. Holozoic, saprozoic, and parasites. Now, word holo, H-O-L-O, holo comes from the whole, W-H-O-L-E, whole. Whole means the entire, like entire piece. Okay, now the word sometimes it is misleading. Now I'm just making it understand what is meant by the holozoic organisms. Holozoic organisms are those organisms which are taking food in the form of whole, that is big pieces, large pieces, as a generally solid, but not necessarily solid. Okay, what is more important is you don't simply go by the holo, but which is more important is that is they take their food inside their body and digest them. the, there are some mechanisms, there are some organs, there are some systems in the body which will digest the food inside the body. So the digestion takes place inside the body. You can consider yourself as an example of holozoic. So we all are eating food. Now our food is not principally made up of solids. We are eating solid as well as we are eating liquid also. uh, a small child is only having milk, so we cannot say that the sir is not taking solid food, so it is not a, or he is not a holozoic organism. Holozoic organisms, the word holo is a whole. Whole doesn't mean that it should be solid. What it means is that whatever type of food is taking, it will be digested within the body, inside the body. Okay, so we have a well mechanism. Now the example can be as large as a human being to as small as amoeba. Amoeba is unicellular organism, but it digests its food in the food vacuole, as we already studied about the food vacuole in class 9. Okay, so holozoic organisms are those which digest their food inside the body, whereas the saprozoic are second word, second type, second category, saprozoic. Word sapro stand for rottening. Sapro stand for rottening, and saprozoic or saprophytic or saprobes, anything can be used. When the word ZOIC, zoic is used, it stands for animals. PHYTE, fight stand for plants, or you can simply write saprobe. Now, saprobes were initially classified into the plant kingdom. All the bacteria were classified in the plant kingdom because they had cell wall. But later on in the five kingdom classification, as you already studied in class 9, the all the saprophytic organisms, maybe bacteria and fungi, they are categorized into the different kingdom. Bacteria are classified into kingdom Monera, and fungi are classified in kingdom Fungi. So there is no more fight word and zoic word can be used in them. So we can simply write that is the saprobes or saprobic organisms. That is those organisms which cause a rottening. So now let us understand what does it mean. Saprozoic are those which digest the food outside in open and absorb only nutrients. Now what does it mean? You might have seen number of times in our houses, sometime a lizard or whatever rat or some other animal dies, and after some time, 1 or 2 days, we start rotten smell. Sometime when we forget to give our tiffin for washing, and the next day or second day when the tiffin is open, we get a foul smell. What is this foul smell? This foul smell is of rottening. Why the things are rotten? The things are rotten, or the leftover is rotten or the organic matter is rotten, because these type of saprobes are there who have poured their digestive juices on it. Okay? Suppose this is a dead hand, someone's hand cut and put onto the thrown on the road. Now microbes will come here. So bacteria, fungi, etc. will come here. And once they come there, they will secrete some juices from their body outside. Okay, we are secreting juices in the digestive system. They are secreting juices outside in the environment. We are digesting our food inside the digestive system. They are digesting the food in the open, in the air. And since they are digesting it in air, various type of chemical reactions are taking place and various type of gases are produced, and the gases are caused rotting. Maybe sulfur dioxide, maybe hydrogen sulfide, maybe ammonia, maybe nitrogen oxide, etc., etc. These are the various type of gases, and their combinations are there, so we get the different type of smell from the different type of food items. Okay, and they are beneficial to us. Why? Because when this rotting is taking place, actually the dead organic matter is recycled, and they will be returned back to air, water, and solids, so that they can be further used. Okay. Otherwise, like we in the Hindu culture, we have to burn the body, dead bodies. So when we burn the dead body, that is all the substances, all the organic matter that is oxidized, and that is converted into carbon dioxide, water, and the bones, etc. got phosphorus and sulfur and calcium, and also that will oxidize and change into calcium oxide, phosphorus oxides, etc., etc., and that will be returned back to the environment. And then what we do, we simply take that ash and we throw in the water, and also we are helping in the recycling, so that the process can be there. Other culture has got, or other religion has got their own culture. They are not burning, but they are slowly helping them to decompose when they are burying it uh, in the earth. Okay, so saprozoic are, or rather saprobic organisms are those which do not have a digestive system. So they will be simply digesting it in the outer environment. Third category are parasites. They are the most laziest organisms. So what they do, they need not to prepare food, rather they need not to digest also food, neither inside nor outside, rather they take the pre-digested food from the host organism. So you see that the lice are there on the head, so they simply poke our skin and they suck the blood out. Okay, and bed bug. Sometime when we go to the movies and all, we go to some public places where chairs, etc., may have bed bug, and no sooner we sit, they come and they suck the blood. Okay, or leech are there, which are there. So all these are parasites. Okay, so parasites are taking ready-made food. They need not to even uh, they need not to even digest their food. Okay, so next we will talk about the holozoic organisms. Now, holozoic organisms, as I already said that is, these organisms are those organisms which are digesting their food inside the body. They are first taking the food as a whole and then digesting it inside the body. Inside, maybe it can be as simple as amoeba, which is digesting its food in a food vacuum, to as complex as we human being and other animals who are having a well-developed digestive system, and we got number of different type of digestive glands which are secreting number of enzymes, about which we'll study in the next coming days. Okay, so I'm not just simply talking here about them. We'll talk about that is what holozoic organisms are further classified into. Holozoic organisms are further classified into three categories, that is the herbivore, carnivore, and omnivore. That is based on what type of organism they eat to derive their nutrients. There are organisms which are only feeding on the plants, like all the cattle. Now in Kota तो हमने कैसे कैसे cattle देखा, they to even eat plastic, polythene, paper, anything they eat. So that is because मरता क्या नहीं करता, बेचारा को खाना ही नहीं मिल रहा है, उनका मालिक उनको खाना दे ही नहीं रहा है ना, and they are bought them in the city where the grass is not there, which is their normal food. Otherwise all the cattle are feeding on the grass and the herbs. Okay, goats are feeding on the grass and herbs, sheep, rabbit, etc. So these are those organisms which are deriving their food only from the plant. You will not find them eating any animal product. Okay, whereas carnivores are those which obtain their food from animals. Okay, they may be eating the parts of animals or they may be eating animal as a whole. Now, carnivores are further divided into two, that is the predators and scavengers. Predators are those predators are those which um, kill their prey. Okay, they are a little bit what do you call prudent. मतलब उनको इतना घमंड रहता है कि भैया हमको खुद को मार के खाना है ना. Will not eat the already dead animals. Now, चिड़ियाघर में बेचारा शेर को क्या करना कर सकता है वो. It cannot go to in search of its food to kill the prey. So whatever you give them, that will eat. Otherwise, predators in jungle or in nature, they will kill their own prey and get their food. Okay, so which kills their prey to get food, like example, a lion, tiger, cats, etc. Okay, scavengers on the other hand are those animals which are actually getting their food from the dead animals, which may be killed by someone or which is died because of the old age or which is died because of the disease or whatever it is. These animals comes and clean them up. Okay, so they are wolves, they are jackals, they are ants. You might have seen ants. Okay, so whenever anybody, any animal or any part, any dead body is there, lizard is dead or any other organ, after some time you will find that ants comes and they take that away and they eat it. Okay, third category of organisms are omnivore, in which we human being and other come. That is, we get a part of food from plant, a part of food from animals. हमने शहद भी ले लिया, हमने दूध भी ले लिया, हमने अंडा भी ले लिया, हमने मांस मच्छी भी ले लिया, हमने गेहूं चावल दाल साग sabji सब कुछ. So our food is consisting of a certain products of plants, a certain products of animals. So such type of organisms which are getting their food from both, that is the plants and animals, they are called omnivores. So the common example are human beings, dogs, bears, crows, and many other organisms are there. You have to just now one more thing I'll tell you, children. See, when you are studying science, you need not to mug up everything which is given in this booklet or in your NCRT book or on this slide or in this video and all. You have to keep your eyes open. Science is everywhere. Science is everywhere. When I'm making video, there are a number of science involved in. Okay, when I'm speaking, there is a science involved in it. The chapter of sound was there in class 9. When you are hearing, science is involved in that. When we are watching, science is involved. Every action, every activity, everything which you see around is having some science. And it is your inquisitiveness to explore that science, that what is there. So if you see a certain flower, you have to know that why only this type of leaves are there, what type of arrangement, what is the color, what is the shape, and how. That is what the science is. Scientific study यही तो है ना. अब आपने नहीं पढ़ा, किसी और ने पढ़ा, and now you have to just read that, you have to just learn that who somebody else must have studied. ठीक है, तो हमारी भी बहुत सारी वी कैन ऑल्सो डू आवर ओन स्टडी. जरूरी थोड़ी कि हम यहाँ पे बुक से लिखें कि भाई गोट शीप ही खाती है ग्रास. You might have seen number of things which are eating grass. है. There are number of other organisms which are omnivores. हमारे घर में बहुत सारी चिड़ियाँ हैं, चींची करती रहती. Okay, you may also be getting some sound of these sparrows. Okay, वैसे तो I have made this room soundproof, yet some little bit sound is coming. So those chinchi bird, the sparrow, small bird, you see how they eat. Whenever they get any insect, they will not leave it. They will eat it. Ants they eat. Okay, and mainly they are feeding on the grains. Grains are plant products. Okay, so the plant products, animal products, you need not to mug up everything from the book. And that is the way of study of science. Okay, so these are the various type of holozoic organisms. Okay, next is saprobes. The word saprobes stand for, that is the rotting organism. That is, these are those organisms which causes rotting. So whenever there is dead organic substances are there, these organisms comes on them and they start pouring their digestive juices. So suppose this is a dead body. Suppose someone's dead hand is there, okay, which is amputated after surgery. So this hand is lying, then the microbes will come on it and the microbes will start attacking and then they'll start secreting their juices. So since it is made up of protein, since it is made up of some of the organic matter, proteins, carbohydrate, fat, of course, body of animal does not have that much of carbohydrate, more of protein and lipids. So protein, lipids, and other minerals are there. They will be digested, and when they are digested, some sort of gases are produced like ammonia, like hydrogen sulfide, like sulfur dioxide, like nitrogen oxides, etc. And these gases which are produced in the various composition gives a peculiar smell that is called rottening. So hence the name rottening organisms are given to them, saprobic organisms. So saprobic organisms are actually got their name because of that peculiar nature of rottening the organic matter. Of course, it may be unpleasant for us, but they are playing a very important role. Why? See this. During this course of dead organic matter, decomposes and smells. When the digestion is taking place, the organic matter, dead organic matter, maybe fallen leaf, maybe fruit, maybe leftover food, maybe the thing which is left in your tiffin, maybe some dead animal, maybe lizard, maybe rat, maybe any other animal which is there. So they all start decomposing. And when the decomposition take place, then what happens? Decomposition is that same chemical reaction which you studied in class chapter 1 of chemistry, where D means less and composition means that is coming together. When something are joined together, they are called composed. When they are removed from there, they are called decomposed. Okay, so the decomposition is taking. So the complex protein will be changed into carbon dioxide, hydrogen, or water, and ammonia, and nitrogen oxide, and sulfur dioxide. Similarly, the lipids will change into carbon dioxide, water, etc., and other substances. So the decomposition take place. A small amount of that will be used by the microorganism. Major portion of that is returned back to either soil or water or to the air. So they are performing a very important role for us, and that is why the world is using, that is the organic bodies or the living beings are using the same organic substances over and over and over and over again, because uh, the if I put it in this way, suppose this particular part is having some nitrogen. Actually, it is having protein. The protein contain nitrogen. So this nitrogen in the previous life must have been in some donkey. In further previous life, it may be in some mango tree. On further previous life, it must be in some snake. Or further previous, it must be in the wheat. So it is over and over again and again decomposition and entering into the other organism. Again, it is taking a shape, again decomposing, again it entering into the plant, again it entering into some other organism. Same material is rotating over and over, and that is why the substance never get over. You might have heard some people saying तुम धरती पे बोझो सारे substance खराब खत्म हो जाए, कुछ खत्म नहीं होता है ना, तो किसी का वजन बढ़. If the organisms are increases, we are not increasing the weight of the earth. Why? बिकॉज हम सब्सटेंस कहाँ से लिए हैं, अर्थ में से ही लिए हैं, तो अर्थ में कुछ कम हुआ होगा तभी हमारा वेट बढ़ा होगा, है ना. और जब हम मर जाएंगे तो हम वापस रिटर्न कर देंगे. तो ये थैंक वी हैव टू गिव अ वेरी बिग थैंक टू दिस सैप्रोस बिकॉज ऑफ देयर most valuable service for which they are not asking us anything. Okay, so that is how the recycling, and it is this recycling in class 9th you have studied in the manure, organic manure, green manure, vermicompost and all, where these organic substances are only decomposing and returning back into the soil, and they are making the soil fertile. So the role of saprobes are very important. Have saprobes been not there, the body would have remained undecomposed. Why we are emphasizing not to use too many plastics? Now the life has become such that we cannot even think of life without plastic. Everything to come in plastic. The cable is plastic. Now this is plastic. The remote is plastic. The chashma itself is plastic. The the mobile and its cover, everything is plastic. I say everything plastic. That printer is there, that the speakers are there, that monitors are there, that laptop itself is there, that mouse is there, everything is plastic. Why we are emphasizing not to use plastic or reduce the use of plastic? Because the plastic and detergents and some other substances which are non biodegradable, they will not return back to the environment once their use is over. So that will remain like that only. So the tires of the trucks, once they are of no use, they will be discarded and they will remain like this only for years, generations, because we are not having any method to break them back and return them back to the environment. So that is why the role of microbes and that is the saprobes are very, 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 very important to us. That is what I wanted to say. चलिए नेक्स्ट आते हैं. Next, third category of organisms, this thing holozoic we already done, saprobes we also done. The third one are parasites. Now what are parasites? Parasites are those organs which derive their food directly from the host. Okay, they does not require any digestive system. They need not to digest anything. They need not to digest food outside the body. They need not to digest food inside the body. Rather, they to just take the pre-digested food. So whenever they are consuming some part of our body, they are actually getting the pre-prepared food, maybe protein, maybe fat, maybe minerals, etc. Okay, now parasites are further classified into two types. That is, one of the type is written here, that is where they are located. Where they are located on the body. If they are located on the body of the host, they are called ectoparasites. The example of ectoparasites are leech, lice, bedbug, etc. Remember, mosquito is not a parasite. ये याद रख लेना आप, mosquito is not a parasite because mosquito is not deriving food for its own. Rather, it is sucking our blood in order to rear their eggs. Okay, so that is they're requiring of our RBC for their reproduction, not for their nutrition. Okay. On the other hand, there is another type of parasites are there which are found inside our body, and these parasites are called endoparasite. Word endo, wherever it comes for inside, ecto comes for outside. So you have also done about the ecto word and endo word. You must have studied in class 9th also. So endoparasites are those parasites which are found inside the body. Examples are Ascaris, tapeworm, malaria, plasmodium, etc. And many of them are usually causes diseases. Okay, malaria, plasmodium are those which are causing malaria in us. Similarly, typhoid, pneumonia, etc. Many other diseases are there, and खैर अब वायरस के बारे में तो अभी हम नहीं पढ़ेंगे. So that's all for today, children. In the next class, we shall study about the further about the photosynthesis. That's all. Thank you, children. Good day.